We had our science critic, okay? And what did he talk about? Well, he talked about studying. And originally he said, he made a video, by the way, a 45-minute video talking about the scientific method, criticizing the scientific method. And so we address each one of the points that he raised. And especially today, we're going to talk about studying. He insinuated in a previous talk that science is about studying. And here we're going to say that it ain't. In fact, we're going to find out that he absolutely agrees with us. Okay, so let me put him on so you hear from the horse's mouth himself. Okay, here goes. The question to be addressed in this rebuttal is a scientist someone who studies?
Just so that everyone's aware, that bit that says to study all night is just an example of it being used in a sentence. Well, just because you study something, that doesn't mean that you're a scientist. I have studied computers and audio. That does not make me a scientist. And also, devoting time to gaining knowledge does not guarantee the retention of that knowledge. I think anyone who has sat an exam can attest to that. Nowhere in the definition of studying did it say that you have to do it by reading books. It just said that that's the typical way that it is done.
Okay, so that was irrelevant, that last statement, the fact that you have to do it by reading books. He suggested doing experiments and studying in your own dark basement, etc., etc. None of that has anything to do with science. In fact, here, and he seems to agree because he says that just by studying, you will not learn. And he's totally right. That is the problem with using the word study to define the word science. Okay, that was the issue. Here you have some sciences. The first one I'll mention is biology. Okay, biology, what is it? The scientific study of life. That's the official definition. No, it's not the study of anything. In science, we do not study. Okay, you can study all you want. Doesn't mean that you're going to understand. In fact, there you see it, studying. You can study, but you fail on the test. Okay, and so what's the issue? The issue is science, a systematic endeavor that builds and organizes knowledge in the form of testable explanations and predictions about the universe. That's the scientific part of biology's definition. Okay, and you look at these words, endeavor, what is it? Attempt to achieve. Okay, you're going to make an attempt at something. Is that what science is? Making attempts at achieving? Hopefully, science is after the fact, when you have achieved already. And what you have to achieve is explanations. Knowledge, it's belief. Okay, that's what it's defined as, justified true belief. Testable explanations, what the hell is that? In science, we have explanations. Testable means that you're working on belief. You know, you're harping on religion. You're saying, do you believe it? Because you tested something and you decided to believe it or not believe it. Okay? Prediction, well, I don't know what that has to do with science. That's astrology and palm reading. They do predictions over there, foretelling. You know, they can tell you the day that you were born, if he's a good astrologer, or he looked at your driver's license or something. Universe, what is that? It's time, energy, mass, and fields, and other mathematical concepts. That's what the definition of universe means to a mathematician. And a biologist, I guess, follows through on that, on those definitions. So yeah, biology, the scientific, I don't know what that is, a scientific study. No, in science we don't study. And in life, as I discussed in the past, there is no definition of the word life emanating from the biology world. Okay, so we don't have a single biologist on planet Earth because not one can define his discipline, his realm of expertise, okay, has no clue whatsoever. Okay, so until they can define the word life, and if biology is the study of life, right, as they say, well, first it's not the study, but then they don't know what life is. So much for biology. Okay, let's see if some of the others do any better. Here we have, where is it here? Paleontology. Okay. Oh, I got the same one. Well, let's see if I can get, give me a second here. Get the one from paleontology. There we go. Yeah, that's the one for paleontology. The scientific study of life that existed prior to the start of the Holocene epoch, roughly 11,700 years before the present. It includes the study, always that word study, of fossils to classify organisms and study the interactions with each other in their environments. Okay, so they use the word study, 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 study. Is it just study? Is that what paleontology is? No, paleontology is not the study. In paleontology, you have to explain. If you don't explain, you're not a scientist. You're not a paleontologist. And no, it's not, Indiana Jones with his little pick and digging up bones. That's not paleontology either. That's a field worker. Could be, one of these bean pickers out there that, picks beans or strawberries, in California. Are they paleontologists because they dig? Okay, so no, just digging it does not make you a paleontologist. And cleaning bones, right, does not make you a paleontologist. Naming them does not make you a paleontologist. Paleontologist does one thing and one thing only, and that's explain extinction. If you cannot explain extinction in a rational manner, you are not a paleontologist. I'm sorry. Okay? And so far, we have no paleontologists on Earth. First, because they do study, or they can't define their own discipline. But then they have all these irrational theories of mass and background extinctions. So we don't have a single valid theory of extinction today. Until we do, we don't have paleontologists, I guess, right? Okay, and then the last one here is physics. Okay, the natural science that studies. We do a lot of studying. Studies what? Matter. Its fundamental constituents, its motion and behavior through space and time, and the related entities of energy and force. Let's look up those words. Matter, any substance that has mass and takes up space. What is motion? An object changes, and et cetera, et cetera. And what is change? Different from what it is, or to transform, which in all cases involves motion, meaning the word change is a synonym of motion. You can't use the word change to define the word motion. Okay, space. What is space? The boundless three-dimensional extent. I don't know what an extent is, but certainly space is not three-dimensional. Okay, hopefully not. Space has no dimensions whatsoever. It is a synonym of nothing. What is time? Continued sequence of existence and events. I guess it's got to go to the future, right? Which they say in the definition, but that would take time because future is already a definition of time. Okay? In other words, you need time to define future. So we got a circular argument there. Entities, it says, is something. No kidding. Good. Okay, energy. Energy is an entity. The quantitative property, it says. So how can they say the entities of energy and force? Force, what is? An influence. Sounds like a verb. So we have the quantitative property and an influence. So none of those words help to define physics at all. So yeah, in a way, this shows that all these definitions of these disciplines, they're misconceived. That's one issue. The other one is that, no, we don't study in science. And so this fellow saying that science is the study of, because that's the definition he found out there, well, those definitions have to be wiped from the dictionary.